What's up, guys, and welcome to a new episode of Let's Hoop. Y'all, this new season has been amazing already, and I
Crazy.
just can't wait to get into it.
Yep.
Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team.
All right, so look, opening weekend was crazy.
It was crazy.
Let's get into it.
Wait.
What?
First, we gotta talk about one thing. Well, we gotta talk about a couple things. So first and
Okay.
foremost, Commissioner Neely is not with us today in studio. So what's up, brother? How you feeling all the way out there in Florida?
Hey man, you know what it is, man. I'm out here with the family having some fun, but I got to do Let's Hoop. Especially we missed that first week, man. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm happy.
Oh,
And then the last thing we got to talk about, we have a brand new host for you all this season. Somebody that's gonna bring the energy, the fire. She gonna be messy and mess with us and do all these different things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, Alicia, welcome to Let's Hoop.
hey, y'all. So excited to be here.
Glad to have you. All right. So next week, where you want to start? What we gonna get into? I'm sorry. Opening week.
Opening weekend, yes. Let's talk about the energy because I think the first initial game was fire.
Mhm.
Both teams came with the energy. The crowd was lit. Everything was lit.
Yeah, I mean, opening weekend was crazy. First of all, we're in a new location.
Yep.
And in this new location, I mean, everything's just A1. I mean, the gym is nice, concessions is nice, like everything that we have
Shout out to the
going.
brisket.
Shout out to the brisket. Everybody that wants the brisket. We got new menu items. It's just, I mean, everything was just top tier. And then the basketball was just crazy within itself. Sky, what about you, man? What you think about opening weekend?
Phew. Hey man, it was busy. It was very busy. But hey, I loved it, man. I mean, it was just like a big welcome back. So it was. I mean, I enjoyed myself, man, and I would just like to appreciate everybody who's on here, the support and everything that you guys gave us, man. I definitely appreciate it. I mean, I don't take it for granted. You guys make this thing roll, so we appreciate you.
Gotcha. So, with that being said, I think we need to shift into next week and this week that we just had.
Well, a lot went down last week, so let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Can I get my producer back there to slide that slider up? The one where you can see mine, because they said my mic needs to come up just a little bit. So if you can just slide my slider up, where you can see my audio going up and down, yep, up and down, yep.
El
That's
Presidente checked in.
who done checked in so far? Who done checked in?
I
El
got Backus and
Presidente.
James.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, everybody check in, man. Let's get this chat rolling.
Tap in, y'all, because it's gonna be lit.
All right. So where are we starting with this week of games? Where are we starting?
Let's start with.
You're just gonna go in order. What was it? It was the Wolves.
Hey,
Wolves
you know
and
what?
Savages.
No. We gotta give them what they came for, Sky. You know what we
Oh,
missed?
okay.
Top 10, baby. We gotta see
Yes,
what happened
sir.
this week with the top 10.
Let's get
Let's
it.
look at it.
Hey,
Woo.
hey. Oh, my fault, my fault. I was
Yo.
enjoying the music. My fault, my fault.
Hey, let me say this. I don't know what it was by Sunday, but it was a whole lot of touching earth going on Sunday.
Man, look, and they already in the chat with it. Y'all already know.
Yeah, yeah.
Congrats on number one. I mean, so let's go through it. K-Ro made somebody touch earth. Barry made somebody touch earth. Even though this didn't make top 10, Kel made somebody touch earth too. It's just, bruh, I don't know what y'all was on Sunday between the dunks and touching earth, this is for Shaq specifically because he said there was supposed to be an honorable mention on the top 10.
Okay.
So Tate almost dunked on a player, and that would have probably been number one had he made that.
Definitely.
So we gotta talk about that too. But Sky, where you at with it, Sky? What you think about these top 10s?
So I'm gonna tell you this before I get into the top two. I like seeing some defense on top 10, so that was great. But I don't know if y'all saw, it was a different camera angle on. I think it was Jordan's top 10. We had a little new camera angle, so I got to throw that piece in there. But man, number one and number two, I don't know, man. See, it's some people saying that number two is supposed to be number one, so it's kind of like, I don't know, man, because both of them were tough. We all know Nick is a high flyer, so you know what I'm saying. Like it was, that was gross, bro.
And
And then
James,
you got
real quick,
Mason.
your point, he didn't there was no highlight following that. Like it was it led to an out of bounds play, so that didn't make top 10. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Sky.
but with Mason, I mean, it was, dude. It's hard to top somebody like he actually dunked on Gino, like, and Gino's a star in the league. So it's kind of like, that was a hard decision. Either one of them could have been number one, but y'all like to chat up, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think. That's what I say. I mean, somebody already said number two should be number one. So, hey, y'all let us know what y'all think.
Yeah, personally, like I said, that's one that can go either way. Like we can honorable mention both of them at number one because I mean they was both nasty. I mean, basically, Mason dunked on him off. I mean, there was no like real gather. It was like a catch right into the move off a drop step, basically. So I don't know. I just feel like it could have went either way because I mean, like I don't know. I don't know. It was.
And Darius, I don't know if you have access to some of the comments, but Sandarius, aka Buster, he said that
he said Mason 9 feet. He's supposed to do that.
Mason's 9 feet tall.
Hey man,
He's like, he's 9 feet tall.
yes, but I know some tall people that cannot do that and do not do that. And then again, like I said, there was a little bit of degree of difficulty to it because of the way he caught it, and it was like immediately into a spin and rise. Like it wasn't like I get an extra dribble and I can really size it up or anything like that. It's like he really turned right into it. So it was tough. But like I
Right.
said, it could go either way because I mean, like I said, bro, Nick came straight down the lane. It was like, oh, y'all gonna let me get a landing pad? Like what's the thing called? A landing strip?
Yeah.
Takeoff
I
pad?
mean,
Whichever one is called.
takeoff pad. That's what it is.
You gonna give me a
And I think
takeoff pad? Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken on that play, he like literally started from one end of the court
Mhm.
and nobody got in front of him. He just, I mean, that was nasty, man. That was
Yeah.
nasty stuff. Hey, I'd say both of them was the number one, but we had to pick one. But
Yeah.
I saw a few of you guys in there, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see. I guess we can tally up who said what. Somebody said,
Right.
look, somebody said it was a great number one for sure. So, so I guess it's a mixed bag of feelings on that.
Yeah, like I said, it could have went either way. So I'm not mad, at that number one. It could have gone either way. So but y'all saying in the chat, oh, Tyler said it's a runway. No, that he's actually correct. It is the runway.
It is the runway. That's what the airplane takes off on. Oh my goodness, man.
So
You're right, Tyler. Thanks.
Yes. And Atkins, we are going to touch on the new players in the league that were hooping, but we're going to touch on that, within the confines of the show. Because, yeah, last week was last week, but we made it this week, guys. So we made it this week.
Yeah, so
James, you don't have to go to bed tonight.
week 1.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him because James said that, I was just like, we gonna do more week 2. We opening week was great. We can't get into all the games because we don't want to be here for 3 hours. So we got to step into this week and next week. So let's get into this week.
Let's go.
Mhm.
All right. So the first game, let's talk about the Wolverines versus Savages. That game was pretty interesting. What's your input?
Oh, so since it's your team, I guess I gotta go first, huh?
You got to, man.
I think the game was a good game, but unfortunately, I feel like some other things overshadowed the game itself.
We might not want to go into that, Darius. You might want to skip over that part.
I'm trying to, but it's hard to skip over it.
Just tap into it. Just let's unpack that. Come on.
Well, let's unpack it.
Let's unpack it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna unpack it. So I do feel like the game became more of the Savages versus the refs versus the Savages versus the Wolverines. So it's really hard in a sense to even pick apart Savages versus Wolverines because the majority of the game was the Savages versus the refs. Now, this is what I will say. I do feel like, somebody said referee ruined our mojo. We ain't want to hoop after that. TJ doesn't know why he got ejected. Talk about it, Darius. All right, we're going to talk about it. All right. So here's the thing. First and foremost, I think because we've all, Cam has been in the league, what, 4, 5, 6 seasons now, however long. So it's like we all kind of know that Cam's going to be loud. Cam's just being Cam, right?
Right.
Well, clearly, last week and this week, the referees took exception to that. So I feel like that was the match that just kind of struck the whole vibe for the entire day. Like Cam lit that fuse and then it just honestly exploded. And then you get TJ that gets ejected, which again, that's one of the leading scorers for the Savages.
Right.
So if not so it's just kind of like now the game has changed because you got basically fully loaded Wolverines minus Josh, but even still, you still got Dez, you still got Dre, you still got Shad, you still got Miles, you still got all the people on the Wolverines, all their main weapons are there. But then you look over on the Savages, and I mean, TJ is a very key piece. And he got thrown out. And I will say, and I'm going to be diplomatic about this. And the reason why is because we've had conversations with the referees. We've had a meeting. And so I don't want to go back on the ground that we gained. We gained some good ground and some good understanding. And we're going to be meeting with the coaches this week, to kind of get some things laid out. But
oh my God, somebody said it's Carl's fault, bro. Come on.
Hold on, I gotta look.
TT said it's Carl's fault, man.
I can't. I'm gonna keep talking. But anyway, yeah, like I said, it definitely affected the overall game. And then, I agree with Sandaria's comment. Like, I felt like the whole aura, everything about the Savages just changed after that. And it was just kind of like, I mean, we finishing the game, but we're not really playing this game anymore because the refs have basically taken us out of it. Now, what I will say is, in that moment, and I'm not saying anything that I hadn't said to TJ already. Me and him already talked offline. In that moment, I do feel like TJ has to keep his composure no matter how he's feeling because he's too important to the team, to get tossed.
Right.
So if you see that tensions are high, as a leader on the team, you have to know, like, hey, I don't want to get tossed. So I gotta take my foot off the gas a little bit, because again, provided the game is, unless the game just gets called and they say, hey, game is over, you got to finish the game. And he wasn't able to do that. So, he definitely has to keep his composure in that situation. And then, going forward, Cam may have to take his foot off the gas too, when referees are like, hey, we know he's just being Cam, but the
Yeah.
referees is like, they ain't having it. So he may have to take his foot off the gas too. But I think it was a good game. I can't even say that. It was a good game, but I feel like it's not the game that we
We're
should have got.
expecting.
Yeah.
Due to the energy, it definitely did get tense. You try to practice how you play.
Yeah.
So when you have that interference like that, it throws you off your game.
True.
So yeah, they did push through, and kudos to you guys, but it still kind of like just shifted the energy a little bit, and you could definitely tell.
Yeah, I agree. Now, a couple things I want to highlight though.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to highlight the fact that even though that happened, Steve was hooping.
Yeah.
Steve was hooping. I mean, got his headband knocked all upside his head, had scratches on him. I'm like, oh God, like this is terrible. But he persevered. And then to get to James's point, highlighting new players, DRC. Rookie, man, listen, you hooping, bro. And he has come into the Savages and has made an immediate impact. Like,
definitely, yeah.
It's crazy watching this dude hoop. Like, he's going for it. Like, he's going for it, and I love to see that. So, I don't know, Scott. That's my perspective. What you thinking over there?
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't particularly like what was going on with the refs and the players and stuff like that, man. I do feel like it did get out of hand. I hate to see a player like TJ go because that gives people excuses to say, "Oh well, they didn't have TJ." So I'm just like, man, I don't like that. I like to have heavy competition all the time. I think it builds your character and makes you better. So I hated to see TJ get ejected. I didn't like it, So I mean, obviously, I'm happy for the win, but like that, as the movie The Matrix, how she said, not like that. I don't like winning like that. I just don't, So, but speaking of DRC, that guy he's a big ball of energy, man. Like that guy is all over the place. He gets rebounds. He blocks shots. Like he's there all the time, man. So I got to give him full credit, man. And the Savages did fight. I mean, I think we went up by a good bit. But Steve, especially as you mentioned, man, he just started going off, man. He was just like, man, I don't care what's going on. I'm just gonna play my game. So I got to give credit, props to him. And for my team, I feel like they kind of do this all the time. Like we'll get a lead and then we kind of ease up. I can't stand that, man. So that's one of the negatives I will say for us because we always can improve somewhere. But we did handle business. Desi was phenomenal, and obviously Shad was back, which really helped us out. Shad he dominates. So I mean, it is what it is with that. And I got to give shout outs to Amari because he's been balling. First week, like he went crazy, and then like this week because Rashad was back, he kind of stepped back a little bit. But he doesn't really care about that. He doesn't care about the stats and all of that stuff. He just wants to win, and he does what he needs to do to help the team. So I got to give him credit for that. But like I said, not like that. Don't like winning like that. But I mean, we got the win. And I'm not going to sit here and, cheer with some pom-poms or anything like that. But, I'll take the win and we'll move on to next week.
Cheer with some pom-poms is crazy.
Right. Like, slow down. Season just started.
Oh. And they said, Kenneth said that Steve finished with 30. That looks about right because Steve went off. Yeah, I just wish he could have translated to a win. And I'm gonna also point out what Sendarius talked about as well when he talked about how when they get PJ back, DRC and PJ are going to be a problem down low, and I agree wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Last year,
yeah.
PJ, tall guy. Yeah. PJ, what's up, bro?
Man, Hollywood
Welcome
over
back
here throwing
to the
shade,
debate.
man. He throwing shade. That's okay. I still love
What
you,
did he
Doc.
say? Sky had you didn't have
She put it up. He said I hated it happened to him. However, I was happy we got to win, and we didn't have to deal with him. And also, I think Desi just checked back in. What's up, Desi?
What's up,
Uh,
Dez?
yeah, he had a great game. And yeah, Let's Hoop is back. We are back. So yeah, appreciate y'all chiming in.
For sure, for sure. All right, where we at, Alicia?
All right, now let's get into the Blazers versus Warriors.
Blazers, Warriors.
Now that was the
Now,
game.
this game. No,
That
literally.
was a game.
Blazers, Warriors. So I gotta point out one thing off rip because I challenged Mason at the beginning of the season because on his social media and on stories and stuff, I see all these videos of him being like ultra aggressive and dunking and all this stuff like that. And so I asked him, I was like, that's cool and all, but when are we gonna see that in Sky West? Like, I need some dunks from you this year. Like, I need, for you to assert yourself and like show some authority down there. So far, he is 2 for 2 when it comes to dunks in the game. We made a similar bet or whatever last season, and he got one the very last game of the season. This season, he's 2 for 2 in each game. He got a good dunk last game and got number 1 on top 10 this past game. So gotta highlight that. Seeing the aggression from Mason, that is a game changer for the Warriors.
And it definitely showed in this game too.
Yeah, no, for sure. 1000%. Scott, what you think about that?
Oh yeah, Mason is doing his thing this year, man. He is a big part of that team, and being a big like he is, I agree with that. He I'd be wanting to see him put people in the basket. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to see him go off. But the game was great. That game was like that was one of the best games. There's another game we're going to talk about that's right there with it. But the Warriors at one point were up by, I believe, I want to say 15 or something like that. But correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But they were up by a good
Something like
bit.
that.
And I was just like, man, because the Blazers, they have a great team. Like, I mean, hands down, like the individuals that they have on their team is great. And if I can throw some little shade at Hollywood, he ain't been there, and they still been looking good. But anyway, because I gotta
Ooh.
throw shade back, you know how I do.
Nice.
Anyway, that's just because he came to me. I got to come back at him. But anyway,
Okay.
but to be honest with you, man, like the Warriors actually look. I mean, they played very, very well, and they kind of fell apart at the end. And I kind of talked with Amari about it, and it was just somebody said 14, so I was close. But I talked with Amari about it, and it just seems like they begin to start rushing. They stopped playing like they were playing, and they started rushing when the Blazers kind of came on that comeback trail. So I was just that kind of bothered me, and it bothered him as well. And I think they were trying to find out, okay, who needs to slow this game down, or who needs to do whatever they need to do in order to stay up. And I don't think they found it. And the Blazers, kudos to them for doing what they needed to do to come back. I believe they looked at each other as like, hey man, we shouldn't be down like this. We're a great team. And I think they went over there and talked to each other. And Coach Miguel talked to them and everything like that. And I just think they picked it up and got it together. But that was a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. I mean, shoot, a lot better than the first game. Because of all the referee situation. But but kudos to the Blazers for coming back, man. I mean, without Mr. El Presidente with the comeback and the win, man. 2-0, that's cool.
Yeah. And I will say this too, with just the whole thing with the Blazers, I think first of all, I got to give kudos to them because you have guards on the team, right? They're a very guard heavy team. And when you have a guard heavy team, there's a lot of selflessness that has to take place. Um, a lot of sacrifice that has to take place, especially when they're all gifted offensively, and then their play styles are very similar, and that can be a recipe for disaster if players aren't in the right mindset. And I mean, I think 2-0 speaks for itself. They've been willing to share the ball. They've let other people, when they've seen certain people rolling, they keep going back to them. The Blazers are playing good basketball to start this season off for sure. And then you got to highlight um, two main newcomers on that team that have been huge contributors. That being Kel and Sean.
Yes, sir.
Both of them, I mean, Kel in the first game, he was giving us fits in that first game with the Red Hawks, and I mean, Sean in this game asserting himself and almost got that buzzer beater that there almost was no overtime. I mean, it was like 0.5 seconds more, and that would have been game. But
Right.
it was good. It was a good game. It was a great game overall. I want to go back to the Warriors a little bit too, because the Warriors have a tough team, right? They've added Penn. They've added players, and I still feel like they are trying to find somewhat of an offensive identity. And the reason why I say that is because it's like, okay, are we running our offense through Mason? Are we running our offense through Amari? Are we running you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying, Scott? Like it's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like what is the scheme, if you will? Because I think in those moments when you are up 15 and you start and this lead starts slipping away, that's where you go back to your offense, whatever that is. You know what I mean? Okay, this is looking a little weird right now. Hey, Mason, post up, and we're gonna play inside out. So we're just gonna immediately give it to him, and everybody cut, make moves, and let him make a decision whether to kick it back out. They collapse on him. But it's like we all know we're going to do that. You know what I mean? Because that's our identity.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
what would make them even more dangerous is if they establish an identity of sorts of what type of offensive team they're going to be. That way, in those situations, there's no need to just try to figure something out. They already know what they're going to do.
Right.
Lineups, man. Lineups. I'm telling you, like I felt like they have good players, but the way you play your players
Hold on,
and
Sky.
how you
Relax. We know we didn't forget about the Titans and the
We ain't forget.
Panthers.
yeah,
Relax.
we did. They're saying we didn't go in order. We didn't go in a specific order. So
We have to go in
we're gonna
order.
talk about you guys. We're gonna talk about you guys. Wait. Oh,
Relax.
hold your mule. Hold your mule.
Go ahead, Sky. I'm sorry. Gee.
But no, so back to what I was saying. Basically, with them, the lineups, I thought the lineups were fuzzy at some point. It was just like, why? I think Penn and Barlow playing together, they should have played together a lot more. I think they would have been a little bit more productive. You get what I'm saying? So it's some things with the lineups, and also as players, and this is for everybody. Understand that sometimes you're gonna play more in certain games. Certain games, different things are needed. It's a lot of players just like kind of upset about PT and all of that stuff. First of all, when you get out there, make sure you make the coach keep you out there. Number one, but number two is you have to understand that it's about the team and not about just you getting playing time. Like a lot of these guys are doing that, and I saw some of that, happening on the bench. Like wonder why I was taken out and stuff like that. So, it's the second game of the season. I think the coaches are still trying to figure some things out as well. So, um, but yeah, I think if they would have kind of put some better lineups in during those times where the Blazers were coming back, they might have combated, what was going on. But once again, like I said, not taking nothing away from the Blazers because they did a great job figuring it out and came back.
Can I chime in on something else you said too, Sky? Because
Yeah.
after these first two games, playing time has been like a going theme that I've been hearing about from a lot of different teams, right? And you said different games are going to require different things and different players to be used, right? I think a question that players have to genuinely ask themselves is, what am I used for? Right? Because if it's just like, I just want to get out there and hoop, bro, you got a lot of people in this league that can just get out there and hoop. But
Right.
like, what's needed is what's going to be on the floor, not necessarily just if you can hoop. So fill the void in your teams, whatever that is, and you'll get playing time. If you see your team has a lack of shooting, get in the gym, get your shot right, and become that shooter that your team needs. And that's going to make a coach keep you on the floor. If you see your team is lacking in rebounding, pick up the slack in the area of rebound. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like one band, one sound. You're only as good as your weakest link. You get what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
y'all have to work together to build everybody up so y'all can be successful.
Exactly. So you understand? So yeah, you know what I'm saying, though, Scott? It's
Absolutely.
just like, make the coach
Absolutely.
keep you on the floor. Like, if you just like, man, I just want to play, and then you get in, and for like the first 3 minutes that you're in, you just catching
You
it
do
and
nothing.
passing it to somebody
Or
else. It's just
fumbling,
like, why are they leaving you in to just, because the thing about our league, possessions matter, bro.
Yep.
Like, possessions and time matter. So you ain't got 4 minutes to make impact in the game. Like, you got
to come with everything you got from the jump.
right as soon as you step.
Yeah.
I mean, you got minute and a half max before a coach is just like, all right, because they got to get somebody else in. So it's like, and they typically gonna call the person that's been hidden. Oh, he's still out there. Yeah, go get him. So it's just like, make your presence felt in the game, and your playing time will increase. And I'm sure all the coaches in the chat and whatever can agree with that. Like, don't just beg for playing time, but get out there and like really, prove why you should be there and take people's spots. Like, ain't nobody's spot secure, so get out there and take people's spots. But anyway, I'm gonna get off that soapbox.
Yeah. But it's called, listen, this is not boys and girls club basketball. This is a men's basketball league. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people need to check their egos and understand that you're not really as good as you think you are in this league. You might be good in the streets. You might be good at LA Fitness, but I'm telling you, like, this league is different. You have to game plan. You have to make sure that your pieces are in the right place. You know what I'm saying? So this is a men's league. So you can't whine like boys. You understand what I'm saying? When you're not getting playing time, if you're not being productive. I understand if you're going out there being productive, you just scored, say, 7 in a row, or you just stole the ball twice, you know what I'm saying, and you're doing what you need to do. But if you're going out there and you're not producing, I mean, it's no need for a coach to put you in. I mean, I'm not going to put you in if you're not producing. I'm just not. I'll put you in when we're up by 15 or up by 20 or something like that. That's the only way you're going to really get put in, in those situations for me.
Hey, paying that 180 does not guarantee playing time. We try to tell people that all the time. But anyway, like we said, make impact. You'll see the floor.
Definitely.
Okay.
Now, I've been seeing y'all in the chat, so let's finally go ahead and get into the next game. Titans versus Panthers.
Titans versus Panthers. Scott, you start this one off, man. Like, I started the last one. You start this one off.
Titans versus, oh man, another game, man. Another great game. I will say it's a tandem on that team, man. And y'all might say, man, this dude is crazy, but I call him Doe and D, or D and Doe, whichever one you want to say. Don and D Allen, I'm trying to tell you, those guys are really, really making this team run. And also, I have to give credit to James. Man, James has been balling. I'm telling you, like, James, kudos to you, man. Like, you're doing your thing, dude. But the Titans, like, I think a while, what was it, maybe a season or two ago, they were losing these games, and they're actually coming out on top on these games. And I think it's due to unselfishness and willing to do what they need to do as far as closing things out. I think D Allen really plays great at point guard as far as slowing the game down and doing what he needs to do in order for that team to win. I think that's a great, great, great pick for them. But also, I want to talk about the Panthers. Like, man, I mean, they look. This game was tight. It was just a tight game. And the Panthers look good already. Shout out to Champ, Coach. I got to give you your props. Now, I will say, in talking about the referees and stuff like that, coaches, like, I know we kind of get caught up in what's going on with the reffing, but we can actually hurt our team if we take it too far. And I believe Champ ended up getting a tech, and that could have very well been the thing that hurt you guys the most. But I understand your passion, so it's hard to tell you to peel that back. But sometimes, especially in close games, man, you got to be real careful. But I think the Panthers came out ready. I think the Titans came out ready. And man, what a heck of a game! That is the second game that I was speaking of when I was talking about the Blazers and Warriors. This is the other game. I'm not going to say it was the second best game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying both of those games were great games, man. So hard fought out, and good to see. I guess Jordan was back and Kobe, uh, and what's his name? Sean, I believe. Yeah, Sean. That's one of those drop.
Wait, James.
Man,
We're gonna get
that
there,
dude can
James.
shoot.
Wait.
Am I stealing your thunder?
No, not you, Sky. James said something in the comments. I'm like, wait, I'm gonna get there. But go ahead, Sky. Finish, because I got something to say.
But yeah, but yeah, you got that. And James probably, I don't see what he said, but at least I forget Barry because Barry was balling as well. So I think their cohesiveness is great. But I yield. I'll let you talk about them.
No, man, it was just. It seems like Barry just caught fire. It was like he was just chilling. All right, just kind of in the motion of the game, and then all of a sudden, I think it was like in the second quarter. It was either like towards the end of the first or the second quarter. Barry just went slap off. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, every shot was dropping for him just about, and it was kind of like, okay, are we gonna switch this scheme up? Are we gonna send somebody else over there? Or no, let him keep cooking. All right, cool. And that's exactly what he did. And also, I just want to point out and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but this is what we saw from a commentary standpoint as well. It seemed like the Titans were capitalizing on the size advantage that they had on the Panthers as well. And so that definitely played a huge part in the win. But something else too. And says my boy, I love him, but I'm definitely gonna shout. I'm not shout this out, but I am gonna point this out. I was disappointed because I felt like Sid let James get him all the way out of his game. It was so bad. It was so bad to where there was one play in particular where they were all lined up at the free throw line, and Sid turned completely back to James to talk to him as the shot went up. And the rebound kind of like came down, and he could have got the rebound, but the other team got the rebound, and even his coach was yelling like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
And it's just like a player should never pull somebody that far out of the game. And at that point, James wasn't even in the game; he was on the bench.
You gotta stay locked in at all times.
You got to stay locked in.
Yeah.
And Aho said, "What are you laughing at so hard, Sky?"
Because man, that man was so bad he took his headband off. I don't even know if y'all noticed that. He threw his headband. He was hot.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. I digress.
Your dumb self on the mic, because that was right when Champ was like, "Come on, Sid, lock in. Come on, Sid, lock in." He took it off and he slid across the floor, and then you on the mic talking about, "Uh-oh, the headband coming off. He about to hoop now." And then right after that, it's just like the same. I was like, "Oh, come on, Sky. Like, you doing the most, bro. Chill."
Oh boy.
But anyway, I hold Sid to a high standard when it comes to things like that, because he has played on high levels. And he's a pro and he plays overseas and all these different things. So I'm like, nah, I said, come on, you know not to let nobody get you out your game like that. So, because I think the Panthers needed him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, they were losing the rebound battle, and honestly, they needed his assertiveness, because when he was catching the ball and taking that power dribble and going to the lane, like he was getting there. It's just he was either getting fouled or whatever the case may be. But I think for the Panthers to be the team that they're trying to be and what they have, you know, the goals that they have set for themselves, like says, got to be top tier. I mean, he's got to be who they need him to be. And the last thing I'll say about this game is this, and then I'll turn it over. One thing I really appreciate, and I said this on commentary, is the way that Jordan makes it a point to get his entire team involved, despite how talented he is offensively. He literally makes it a point. If you watch the way he's playing, it's very calculated, and he makes it a point. I saw him do it like 3 or 4 times where he actually drove a particular way because he knew everybody was going to commit, and Sean was waiting right at the top of the key, and he kicked it right out to him. And again, I'm sitting here like, why do you leave Sean? Leave anybody else, but why do you leave Sean? And he did it like 3 or 4 times, and it's just kind of like, and mind you, it was a shot that he could have probably still took. Last year, he would have took because he had to, but seeing what he has around him and the way he's utilizing it, I have to give kudos where kudos is due because he definitely is utilizing his team for sure. So I think the Panthers going to be all right, man. Yeah, if they can get said to lock in and, you know, as they continue to come together, learn to play together, I think the Panthers going to be all right.
Definitely.
I think, and that being said too, even with the Titans, man, we can talk about Don a lot, but man, he was a big part of the win as well. Don, and also I keep seeing it in the chat. Dude, Troy was crazy with the rebounds. Like Troy got so many rebounds, that was ridiculous. And that's the point that you're trying to make. You would think Said would get some of those rebounds. You get what I'm saying? Like you would think that Said would actually help in that arena. And once again, going back to what we talked about, you got to give the team what they need. A lot of guys just want to go out there and score. Oh man, you know, scoring 25 points or 15 or 20 points means I had a good game. But how many assists did you have? How many rebounds did you have? How many blocks did you have? How many steals did you have? How many times did you do something that's not in the stat book? You know what I'm saying? Like grab somebody, you know, off a pick. Like how many times did you do that stuff? But everybody's just talking about, hey man, let's score. How many did we score and do all of that stuff? And that's the thing, man. You want to do what it takes to win the ball game. It's a team game, man. And sometimes you can't have just scores. And so what Kenneth just put, Jordan had 28 and Sean had 26, and they still lost. You get what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things, man. You have to, as a teammate, know what you need to do. And then, because a lot of times I notice guys, if they don't touch the ball or if they don't score in like 3 or 4 minutes, the next time they get the ball, I'm like in my mind thinking they're about to shoot this. They're not going to pass it to anybody because they hadn't scored. And everything is about scoring to everybody a lot of times. And at that point in the game, if somebody else is scoring, you got to learn how to pass that ball or just play within the game. You'll get yours eventually. Let the game come to you. Don't try to make the game yourself.
Yeah. Scott West is definitely at a point now where it has to be about winning, not about stats, not about scoring, not about you getting PT, not about you get like it going the way you just absolutely want it to go. It has to be about winning because we have so many teams in this league now that all can honestly compete. And whatever team plays together, whatever team buys into their roles, plays hard. Say again?
Teamwork.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like whatever team really leans into that, that's who's going to win. Not people trying to get stats and highlights and wanting to be, you know, on top 10 or hear us talk about them on the show. Like, if you're doing that, you're not going to win.
Definitely not. But the thing is, if everyone's pouring into each other, not only are you helping your own skills, but you're helping somebody else. So y'all all gonna win.
Which is necessary because you have to build your teammates up.
Absolutely.
Like what you say earlier in the show, you're only good as your weakest link. So if your weakest link, because I mean, again, you have to have contributors on your team. It's no more, we just got this guy, you know, he just want to get in for a little bit. Like,
nah, you got to come with it.
Most of those
because the other teams, they not gonna let up on you.
No. All right, so where we at with it now?
All right. Now let's get into the Bulldogs versus the Chargers.
Bulldogs ain't played the Chargers. We did. The played.
Yeah, that was a typo, wasn't it? I
Hey,
was
look,
like, that
you know
didn't
what's
happen.
crazy? Ask her who typed that and sent it to her.
This guy.
My bad.
Yeah.
Let's all blame him. Okay.
I take the blame. I can be wrong. I'm wrong. That was my fault. All right. Red Hawks and Chargers. Scott, take it away.
Oh man. I'll tell you this. Chargers are a powerhouse in this league. And then adding Tate to that team is that's insane. Tate is one of those players that he's strong as the ox, man. Like I mean, I watch him down low. Like when he wants to take it to the basket, he can do whatever he wants to down there. And then on top of that, you got Smoke coming back this week, and Smoke done lost some weight. You know what I'm saying? Like he's moving even quicker. He already was quick. I mean, but obviously anybody who loses weight get even quicker. Like it's just crazy, man. What they got going on? They have a powerhouse team, man. Shaq, he's been doing this thing, man. They look very cohesive. They have the vets on that team that has taken them to a championship the year before. Actually 2 years in a row. One win, one loss, but they have a great team. But I wanted to really focus a little bit on the Red Hawks. And what I saw, the Red Hawks are the exact opposite of the Chargers, and I'm not talking about powerhouse wise. I'm talking about in cohesiveness. The Red Hawks is kind of in a rebuild. It's kind of a rebuild. You
No,
have
Tyler.
maybe a few
No.
players that were. What did he say? What did Tyler say?
Do we still have that clip in the back pocket? We need that for the. Personally delete that clip off the computer, so we will never see that again. Okay.
Do you remember the time?
You know what? Speaking of Red Hawks, Darius, do you remember draft day? We had a conversation, and I think you said something on the lines of a redemption season for you guys. How does looking out?
Did you just put me on the spot on live TV?
Hey, look, this the hot seat. So what's up?
Wow.
What's tea?
Hold on. First and foremost, before I get to that, my leg design. Sam was the goal. Seriously, that's ugly. Yeah, y'all. See, this how I'm gonna delete that off of the computer just so it will cease to exist. Okay. So I hope y'all enjoyed that last time.
Somebody said, "Bruh."
Joe. Y'all enjoyed seeing that one time because it's about to go into retirement. Anyway. To address. Wait, Ezra said we need to play number 3 more. Who's number 3?
Hey.
Who's number 3? She's so messy. Promote this woman.
Shut up.
Went too on and off the court. Oh wow, these boys going crazy. All right. No, I still wholeheartedly stand on that. It's just one of those things. First and foremost, over half the team is new. And even the key pieces that are on the team, a lot of them are new as well. I mean, our backup center is new. Our starting guard is new. I want to say our 2 guard is new. Like we have a lot of new people on the team so far. So, I mean, we started to figure it out. And then also, DeMarcus went down on Sunday. So that was definitely, that definitely hurt. However, fingers crossed he'll be back based on news I've gotten. So, I'm still standing on that. I'm definitely, and I told the team this, I'm not out on our team. If you look at that game and you look at, just everything. Matter of fact, before I say any more on that, Sky, you were about to talk about the Red Hawks. I'm gonna let you say your piece first, and then I'm gonna say my piece about the game. So go ahead. I'll go back to you since we were so rudely interrupted by Sam and this commercial. Go ahead, Sky.
They said they want to promote her, bro. I mean, that's what they said. So hey, but nah. On a serious note, though, the Red Hawks. I think for what they have and what situation they're in, you guys are in trying to rebuild. I do think you played the Chargers well. Like I think you guys played them well. Uh, I think you played them as good as you could, being in the situation you're in. But to the Chargers' credit, I mean they have a powerhouse team, and they already have that cohesiveness. And it's kind of hard as a team that's still trying to figure it out and put it together to keep up with that. But I will say that's a positive note. That I think you guys did play them well. I think you figured out some things. Um, I will say if we calling out people, I will have to say like Jermaine. You know I like Jermaine, but I feel like I don't know if he's trying to do something that he's not good at. I think he's a good slasher. I think he's good around the rim, things of that nature. But I think he settles a lot. He settles a lot, and I think he's not as productive, outside of that paint. And his aggression level is pretty low, when it comes to games a lot of times. So I think if he, steps his game up, that'll help you guys out a lot. But I still think he's trying to find his identity as well. So Josh, he's trying to figure out when to go, when not to go. He doesn't want to be too selfish, things of that nature. So it's hard to beat a championship caliber team like the Chargers when you're still trying to figure those things out. You know, but kudos to the Chargers because I don't want to downplay how good they are. They just handle business like they were supposed to. They just handle business. That team is dynamic, is great. And I gotta give one of the rookies, Rock. I gotta give him credit. This dude, man, oh my goodness. I mean, rebounding machine. He can jump. I mean, the dude can jump out of the gym, man. He's crazy. I mean, he's like a great hustle guy for them. I mean, with all the skills that they already had on the team, man, Rock is like he's serious, man. So shout out to him. But yeah, like I said, I think you guys got some just trying to figuring it out. But I think you guys can end up being good. So only time will tell. It's game two. So things
Yeah,
can turn
no, I
around.
totally agree. And bro, and this is what I was telling the team even in the back. This is a team that was in the championship 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Right? In the championship 2 years in a row, won one, lost one, like you said. At halftime, we were down 20, bro. And we walked down a 20-point lead in the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, we were down 3. Deshaun hit that 3 at the buzzer, and that took it back to 6. But I mean, from being down 20 at halftime to walking down a 20-point lead, to me, that says a lot about our team, about our fight, about our defense, and what we're actually capable of. A team that's trying to figure things out. When you see strides like that, it's like, oh, okay, gotcha. Because we didn't do this against like some scrub team. Like, first of all, there are no scrub teams in the league anymore. But again, defending champion, well,
Nope.
not the defending champions, y'all the defending champions, but a former championship team that got better this year, adding Tate, Rock, and you forgot one, the other point guard, DJ. He did not miss the 3
Oh
that
yeah.
day.
Oh yeah.
Every 3 he took, he made.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's my fault, DJ. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I failed to mention you. You did your thing.
so
But
so
continue,
yeah,
Derek.
so that's my thing about it,
Mhm.
where it's just kind of like, naturally we wish we could have came away with the win. But I think, like you said, we played them well, and honestly, give or take a ball bouncing one way or the other, we could have came away with that win. Tate asserted himself at the end, a lot more. And like you said, Tate is a pro. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. The game, it stayed close, and when it came to crunch time, he closed it. So yeah, it was a good game. It was a great game for sure. It was a fun game to be in, and yeah, like I said, it's gonna come together. It's gonna come together for sure. But yeah, I'm excited to see what we do. Everybody, and this is I've even stressed to the team. Like everybody's saying what we need, what we don't need, what Josh can do, what he can't do, all this type of stuff. I'm like, look, I believe in every person on my team to do what they are doing, and if we need to make some adjustments and changes, that's gonna come from within the team. So, Red, we ain't got to listen to the outside noise. Like we will figure it out. So, yeah, that's my soapbox on that.
All right. Hopefully we get to see it later
And
on.
can I say this too? And can I say this too, man? We're a brotherhood, man, and if you guys believe in prayer, man, pray for DeMarcus and also to Darius. I haven't got the official news yet, but it's looking more and more like a complete tear on the Achilles, man. So I just want to take a break from basketball and go into brotherhood for those moments, because I know none of us want anybody to get hurt. So keep them in your prayers. I just want to take time out to say that, and we'll report back to you guys. When we get more details on what's going on.
For sure. Definitely keep our Skywest brothers in prayers. And man, y'all stretch and do all the stuff y'all need to do before games, man. Because we hate to see y'all go down, and we know that Achilles is like one of those things you can't really prevent or whatever the case may be, other than stretching or whatever the case may be. But stretch, do what y'all need to do, man, because we don't want to see y'all go down. All right, Alicia, where we at?
All right, let's go ahead and get into the last game of the night. Chargers versus Black Ice.
Black Ice versus Bulldogs. Sorry, that was another one. I switched those two.
He did it
I switched
again.
those two.
I feel like this is a personal attack on me.
I mean,
It's all right though. It's all right.
On the first day,
so, I mean,
gee, on the first day.
The first day.
I mean, she called me out, so I just had to, Anyway, all right. Black Ice versus the Bulldogs. God dog, Nick. I'm just gonna say that first. God dog. Like, one leg bounce is crazy. Like, I wish I had one leg bounce. Well, I wish I still had bounce, period. But I wish I had one leg bounce. Like, my man's came down the lane and was just literally like, yeah, I see two of y'all there, but don't care. And I think that speaks to just the attitude of the Bulldogs in general. It's like, I see you there, but I genuinely don't care.
Definitely.
And same thing with K-Roll. Like I said, he made somebody touch earth 2 weeks in a row at this point. And it's just like, whoever you throwing out there in front of him, it's just like, yeah, I see you there, but I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go get a bucket. And again, everybody else, Easy has been hooping this year. I mean, you saw the block that he got. Like, I mean, Josh literally dropped that shoulder all the way into him and then smacked it out of bounds. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, Easy smacked his shot out of bounds. It's like, God, dog. Like Bulldog is a very fitting name, and the team embodies that. They are all dogs. Like, you got Lango, the entire team. King, they're all dogs. And it shows. And it's like, I know the analogy is really for a shark when they smell blood, and it's like they kill when they smell blood, but it's like the Bulldogs are the same way. It's like when they smell a little blood, they kill.
Every time.
So, and that's what I saw even in that game. And then you go over to the Black Ice side. It was nice to see Black Ice healthy and together. We didn't know Rodney's status. Yeah, we didn't know what his status was going to be for the season. We actually thought it was over for Rodney. For those of y'all that don't know, they were scrimmaging the Redhawks, and Rodney went up for a layup and came down on his leg wrong. And, we thought it was a tear. But, I mean, you saw him out there yesterday. He was looking good. So it was good to have him back. We got TJ back, full health. James was at this game. Trey. It's like they looked more together. Like they had everybody. Josh he was limping. He limped in the first game and limped out the first game. He had a still slight limp, but it was a little bit stronger. But Black Ice was together, and they looked like the Black Ice that we know that's been a formidable team in the league. So I just think they also still need some time to kind of come together
Yeah.
as well, because they've had some roster changes. You've added Malik, yeah, and then well, I ain't gonna talk about the end of the game yet. But go ahead, Sky. You can go. You can take it away.
Nah, I was just laughing, man, because y'all always pause me. K-Roll had a pause moment. I want you to put that comment up, please, Sam, about about about
I had a pause moment.
about him giving it on both hands, bro. He said he giving it on
Oh,
both hands.
Weezy
That's a
giving it
pause
on both.
moment, K-Roll. I need you to do better.
Do you know the history of the pause, Alicia?
Hey, because y'all be clowning me all the time. I
So I'm gonna
gotta,
break this down because
I
Alicia
gotta
don't know the
get you.
history of the pause. So it's like every episode of Let's Hoop last year, Sky would have a pause moment like every episode. Like he'll say something like, "Yeah, I like his ball play." Whoa, pause. Like his ball play. Sky, what you got? What you got going on here, bro?
Go there.
So now it's like everybody zeroes in on whatever Sky is saying to catch him in a pause moment. So that's why he's highlighting K-Roll at this moment. So yeah, that was a pure vendetta. Go ahead, Sky. Continue.
But yeah, so but other than that, man, and you know, I will address the end of the game as well. But now I will say, like, this game was great too. It was close all the way to the end. And we got to give shout out to James too, because James didn't play the first game either. And he came back. James is a very smart player, very cerebral. So I like him. But it was just it's a hard fought battle. It was a chess match, you know. It was just like the Bulldogs would pull off, you know, and then you know the Black Ice would come back. It was a test match, you know. So I think both teams played well, but as you stated, man, the Bulldogs are. I mean, they're a scary team. They lost 2 games last year, and they got better this year. You know, they got better this year. So I think they're out to prove something. And you know, kudos to them, man. Like they closed the game out. Now I will say that the timeout that was called to challenge the play, you know, that was kind of rough. You know, it's kind of rough for Black Ice because that really changed the totality of the game. You know, so I will say, you know, you put an asterisk kind of beside it a little bit. Now, how much do I think it would have changed the outcome? I'm not sure. You know, they might have wouldn't have had to do, you know, the fouling that they had to do at the end of the game. And also after that, even though they reviewed the play, they allowed them to get the 2 free throws. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it there. And I'm talking to the Bulldogs right now, or anybody. Um, what the rule is. So my thing is, as coaches and as players, so I understand that we're all trying to win, but what's fair is fair. You know, so on the outside looking in, you know, you were fighting for your 2 free throws and making that stuff count because the call didn't go against you. You know, the call would win against the other team. If the shoe was on the other foot, you would have been saying the same thing that Black Ice said. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that goes back to the brotherhood part and being honest. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like we have to be careful, you know, sometimes in competition, you know, honesty rules everything to me, you know. So that situation was a bad situation and it really kind of changed the game. It kind of put a damper on the game as well. So but I'm not taking anything away from the Bulldogs because you guys played phenomenal basketball. And I think Black Ice did too. And you know, Black Ice, whoever they're playing next, you know, normally when they lose like 2 games like this, it's they come back with the
Definitely
thunder.
rough.
So I'm telling you. So, but kudos to both teams.
No, I totally agree. And so to address the last comment where it says fairness is the referee's law, and nobody can trump a ref's call even if it is a bad call, and that's 1,000% true. But I think more
Yeah.
so what Sky is addressing is the fact that anytime there is a question about anything, because there are times where, because the certain rules that Sky West plays by, referees will come over and ask us, hey, what is you guys rule on this? Because I know the such and such rule is this, but what is you guys rule? So there are times where we have conversations with referees regarding situations, and what tends to happen is both teams are coming over yelling and pleading their case. And all Sky is saying is, just extend the same respect that you would want if you were on the other side of that call. Because, I mean, in truth, it wasn't fair. A team can't be told, unless they don't have any timeouts or whatever the case may be. Like, if it's a legal timeout, they can call timeout, and Black Ice called timeout. And the referee told them no when they heard why they wanted the timeout.
Right.
And so again, it crossed over out of refereeing the game into a personal, this is why I'm not letting you call timeout. And it was because of a flawed understanding on their part, which is like, that ain't right. Now, again, as you saw, what the ref said was law, but we were going to have a conversation about it and make sure, because again, it's got to be fair. So, players, y'all stay out of that. Coaches, stay out of that. Let us handle it, because again, it's almost like the person on the sideline, or it's like that person where it's like, yeah, if you in the game, this goes down in every level of basketball, including LA Fitness, where it's just like, hey, it was off him. It was off him. No, it was off him. No, it was off him. Both people wanted to be off the person, wanted to be either off him or not off him, because it will benefit the person, especially for like game point or whatever the case may be. And then you go into the sidelines, and the sidelines like, no, it was him. No, it was off him. And it's like, no, you ain't involved. It's just like, we don't want chaos. So basically, just leave it to us. We will always make sure that things are fair as possible. And like I said, we've done work outside of. We didn't leave the gym. Scott, what time we leave? Sunday?
I believe we left. It was after 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it
Because
was
we
after 1
met
o'clock.
with Archie. And we talked
After
with
1
him,
o'clock.
and
After
yeah.
1 o'clock when we
So,
left, because we were meeting and we were sorting things out and getting information to take to our coaches, because we're going to be meeting with our coaches, and then also to bring back to you guys as well. So again, Sunday was a bit crazy, but we are rectifying, the things that went down on Sunday. Now, to that point, the things that went down on Sunday, some of the emotional things, whatever the case may be, we rectifying that. But one thing I am going to say, y'all, we grown, and I know some things are a foul. And again, if it needs to be addressed, it will be addressed. But I'm sitting here calling these games. Some of y'all are fouling. Like, it is a foul.
absolutely.
So every possession, somebody going nuts because the referee blows their whistle is ridiculous. Like,
Very.
and again, I'm commentating, so I'm literally having to pay attention to every detail. So I can tell you, some of y'all are fouling. And there's a way to play aggressive defense without fouling. And then honestly, if you want to be a better ball player, learn some of these things. Like, for example, you can never be in legal defensive position from the side. So if you're on the side, even if your hands are straight up, you're still in an illegal position and they can blow the whistle. So it's like minor nuances like that you have to learn as a basketball player to know, like, okay, I can do this or I can't do that. But everything is not all the refs. Did they make terrible calls Sunday? Yes. Did they make game-changing calls Sunday? Yes. Did they have way too much involvement on Sunday? Yes. But I will say there was a part that the players play as well, to where every single time the whistle is blown, you just see people losing their minds. And it's like, bruh, you fouled him. I'm watching this. You fouled him. So just be mindful. And I don't know about
And we
y'all,
had
but I was
coaches
taught play through
saying
the
choice
foul, not
words.
for the foul. So what'd you say, Sky?
We had coaches screaming choice words. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't help the situation either. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to be very careful We are a family friendly organization. So we have to be very careful and not let our emotions determine our actions a lot of times. So and that doesn't help you anyway. That escalates the situation. So I get it. I get it. But as Darius stated, like I see I've seen somebody say, "Oh my God," and I'm like, "Dude, that was a good call." And y'all gotta understand that this is Sky West basketball. I love our league. I think our league is growing. It's great, but it's not the NBA. And guess how many bad calls get made in the NBA? So if we're not the NBA and the NBA is supposed to have the best referees and they still have bad calls, I mean, come on, man. It's gonna happen. I'm not giving any excuses for some of the bad calls that happen, but I'm just letting you know, man. At some point, you got to keep it cool. You got to understand how to keep it cool. Um, uh, you got to learn how to talk to people. And all of that stuff. So we gotta hold ourselves accountable and responsible as men as well on how we treat the other person. Just because they have the zebras on or the stripes on, doesn't doesn't mean that we can just talk to them any kind of way either, and vice versa. They shouldn't talk to us any kind of way either. So I just want to put that out there.
I agree. We're all humans at the end of the day. Everybody makes mistakes. I want to tap into a little bit what you said about the coach. Um, when you think of a coach, they're the head. You get what I'm saying? So everyone else is under them. So it's like if the coach is going off or having an attitude, what does that mean for the rest of the players? Hey, I can do this too, because coach, you get what I'm saying? So it's like you also have to hold yourself accountable, like, hey, I'm over these guys. They're looking at me for leadership. So it's also another level of emotional intelligence that you have to have because a lot of people are looking to you for the answer.
No,
Yeah.
very, very true. Come through with the word, Alicia. Yeah.
Hey, look, hey. Before we end everything and do all of that stuff, man. I'm giving a clap because I'm way in Florida, but I got to give a hand clap to Alicia. You're doing a good job. You're very your inserts are great. So we definitely appreciate you. And man, y'all give her props in the chat too, because y'all know she's doing a great job. So we appreciate you.
After being set up twice today, might I add.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we just supposed to, let things go and move on. Like, don't hold on to things.
We working on it. We working on it. Look.
Cool. All right, where we at with Alicia? What we doing?
All right, so we got a life moment.
We got a life moment. Well, I'll tell you what. Before we get to that life moment, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we will be right back.
Let's see you after the commercial.
What's up, y'all? We got Nana's Cafe here, and we are partnering with Sky West Basketball. For the first time in 12 seasons, we're going to have the best acai bowls in this state at the concessions. Each and every Sunday, each and every game, you will have the option to get the best acai bowls. We got a protein acai, we got a mango acai, and we got a classic acai bowl, all right? We got all the best fruits, fresh fruits, strawberry, blueberries, blackberry, pineapples, bananas. We bring in real refreshing, rejuvenating options for you so you can stay strong and cheer on your team. All right, let's get it.
All right, so we are adding a new segment this year, and it's going to be called a life moment. And so basically what that is, we're just going to take a brief break from basketball and just talk about, just life stuff, because all of us are going through certain things. We're just going to talk about it a little bit. So the life moment for this week is kind of a personal one for me. And the life moment, hold on, somebody said something about Sam's commercial. What did they say? You know what commercial? You know what? I will not. Anyway, this life moment was kind of personal for me. So each and every one of us have been put here for a reason, and God has given each and every one of us different gifts and different abilities. And no matter how big or small it may seem, because we live in a world where society glorifies a lot of the bigger and more boisterous ones, like, you know, the singers and the actors and all the things that are really out front. But then you have those small ones that it's just like when you just simply have the ability to be a light. You know what I mean? When you have the ability to step in a room and just make people laugh, or you step in the room and you just, you know, you're the life of the party, or whatever the case may be. You know, I'm gonna talk about those type of people with those types of giftings, and want to say to them, never underestimate your ability to be a light in this world. If you say that you believe in God, we're called to be a light in this dark world. And so I'll give a personal story and just share why it's just so important to be a light. So some of y'all may or may not know, last week, I lost my cousin. He was a close cousin. We grew up together, and it was sudden. He's 4 years older than me. For the most part, from what we knew, healthy, all the above, and he went to sleep and didn't wake up the next morning. Mind you, this is right before the season started, and it was the Wednesday before the season started. I got a call an hour before we were supposed to be doing a commercial shoot for Sky West. So naturally, I'm a wreck because, like, that was my cousin. Like, you know, I'm a wreck, and all I can think of in my mind is I got all these guys coming to have this shoot, and you know, I got to be CEO. Like, I don't get to turn that off just because something happened. Like, I got to be CEO. We got to have fun. I got to make it fun. I got to make it an experience. Like, all the different things. And I'm like, how am I going to do this after just receiving this news, right? So, got to shout out Sam. Sam came up and, you know, she helped me get everything set up and all the above. You know, Stefan, Alicia, but even still in my head, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I got to shout out my Sky West guys because it started with Mason. He came in, and honestly, he didn't know what was going on. He had no idea that had happened, but he just came in and he brought light, had everybody laughing. Jordan came, Shaq came in with that humor, DJ came in with the humor, and those guys really were just being the light that they are. And those of y'all that have been around them, y'all know that to be true about them. They're a light. They're going to make people laugh. They're going to tell jokes. They're going to do all those things, having no idea that the only reason I was able to make it through that shoot without falling apart, crying, showing any emotion, or whatever the case may be, is because they were lifting me up in that moment and being a light. And then you move on to Sunday because, again, close cousin, I'm dealing with family, all this stuff, and I got to still make sure this Sky West opening weekend is everything it's supposed to be. And every last one of y'all having no idea what's going on, y'all coming up to me, laughing, joking, talking, the brotherhood that we've built, each and every one of you letting your light shine, and you had no idea how it was able to help push me through that week. And not only through that week, but even feeding into what we had to do the following weekend with funeralizing my cousin. And it was all because of, here yet again, the light that you guys allowed to shine, and it affected my life in a positive way. And y'all had no idea what you were even doing. You were just being yourselves. And just like with me, you know, I can't turn CEO off. Like, we still got to have a season. You know, it still got to be an experience. It still got, no matter what's going on in life. A lot of y'all have the same type of situations where y'all can't turn off being a dad. Y'all can't turn off being a brother, a husband, going to work. Like, you can't turn that stuff off, but you're going through things. So, you know, be mindful of your brothers, you know, your brothers in and outside of Sky West, and just make sure that if you have that ability to be a light in people's life, because you never know what they're going through. And, you know, like I said, God has given us a mandate to be a light in this dark world, because, you know, we see all the bad and the darkness that's happening in the world. So, you know, I got to extend a personal thank you to you guys, because your light definitely lit up my dark world, because my world got very dark from that Wednesday forward. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And yeah, that's my life moment for the day, man. You know, whatever your gifting is, whatever God has given to you to bring light into the world, use it, and use it to the fullest. Sky, you want to chime in on that? Alicia, you want to chime in on that?
Nah, man, you're right, man. I really think that a lot of times in life, man, we don't realize, you know, how we can affect people. You know, and one thing about me is I try to stay positive, you know, as much as possible. And, you know, that's why I love taking you guys' hands. I don't know what you guys are going through, man. So, and like I said, and with Darius. I agree, and all of you guys are putting the stuff in the chat about the brotherhood. That's the most important part.
Mhm.
Basketball is cool, but brotherhood is the most important part of what we're doing. You know, and my thing is, I would love for everybody to feel comfortable with talking to Darius and myself about any situation you guys have. I've had some people talk to me about some things that I've never told anybody about because it's none of their business, you know, and they told me in confidence. And you know, I've tried to give words of wisdom or words of encouragement during those times. So it's definitely important that, especially as men, because we got a high pride level, and we like to try to hide everything from everybody. And statistically, that's why we die earlier than women do. You know, because we don't communicate as well as they do when it comes to our issues. But understand, with SkyWest basketball and the SkyWest organization, period, we got your back. You know, if you need something from us, we got your back. So, and also, Darius, it's a few guys on here that mentioned something about the men's workshop
Mhm.
sessions. They wanted me to remind you about that. So, if you want to say something about that as well.
Well, tell you what, I could say something about it, but I think we can do you one even better. We actually have a promo for that. My dad wanted to come and talk to y'all about that himself. So if we got that clip, let's roll it.
Hey guys, I'm here to tell you about something very, very special that has been set up and constructed just for you. If you have been wondering why and how you keep ending up in the same old cycle and you can't seem to get out, it's the mind thing. And as a life coach, it is my responsibility to help you get out. And that's what I want to do for the men of Sky West. So listen, this coming Saturday, the 7th, there's a special boot camp that has been planned just for you. It's virtual, it's online, and it's only going to last 1 hour. Can't you dedicate 1 hour to study and to learn how to shift your life into the next dimension? I'm going to be teaching on finances and how to shift your finances from one place to another. It all starts with your mind, and I'm going to be teaching you. It's a virtual class. If you will go to my website, iminspired.me, sign up, and what we will do is we'll send you the link so that you can be a part of what's going to take place this Saturday. And the very next weekend, which is Father's Day weekend, we're coming back again for this boot camp. We're going to be here on the campus at Restoration. I'm going to have a fitness trainer here, and he and I will go back and forth teaching you how the mind and the body work together. We're actually going to go through some fitness exercises that you can do that will help you get your body physically fit. And then I'm going to be telling you how to get your mind physically fit. And then Sunday the 15th, which is the very next day, we're going to be right back here. We're going to have a special anointing service to pray over you. Many of you, some of you may have generational curses. You've seen this happen to your father, your grandfather, all of these things. Listen, there is a God that's sitting in heaven that wants to transform your life. And so I am committed to helping you break generational curses, break mindsets, break physical ailments that have been in your body that seem to hamper you from being all that you can be. It's going to be an exciting next 2 weeks. I want you to be a part of it. You've seen me walking around at your games and so forth and so on. I'm there. I'm praying over you. I'm asking God, what can I do to help you become the best man that you can be? If you're ready to take your world, go to iminspired.me, register for the boot camp, which is this coming Saturday and next Saturday, and then the special service that we're going to have on the 15th. Register so that I can give you impartation and you can get up and change your world. Listen, thanks for taking the time to listen, and I hope
TJ. No.
These boys be going crazy in this chat, man. Y'all funny.
TJ, he wasn't flexing. Yeah.
Y'all are
I'm gonna tell
funny.
you the point in all this, right? Because some people have even commented on the fact that I got a new car, right? A major part of that was a lot of financial things and advice that I got from the person that pulled up in that car. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so the whole point of that is he wants to walk you guys into this stuff. You know what I mean? Like he wants to, when I say the way me, Sky, at least all of us are about y'all, he's the same way. So please, please, please take advantage of the help that's there. Take advantage of the class. I mean, if it's free, it don't cost you nothing but an hour. I mean, if you ain't got an hour to invest in yourself, then I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah.
Right. And just to chime into that, we've been talking about brotherhood. You can't walk this life alone. Everyone has their own issues. Everyone goes through things. So lean on the people that you have while you got them.
For sure, for sure. And I think that's the beautiful thing here yet again about SkyWest. It's creating, whereas I know for a fact, and of course I'll never name names, but I know people that don't have people in their real life situations, but their brothers have literally come from SkyWest.
That's amazing.
I've even I remember early on, and this is what showed me and Sky that we were doing the right thing. Sky, you'll remember this story. There was a guy on our team when we started, and he talked about how he had been on his own since he was like 10 years old. And there was a lot of different things he just did not have in life. And there was a lot of things that, he was homeless and all these different things, and just what he felt from being in RCBL at the time. And the brotherhood and the people that he met, we became his brothers, and he had no family in the city. And that just let us know off rip, like, yeah,
Mhm.
we on to something. You remember that guy?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's that's how we are, man. We're genuine people, man. Like we really care about you. We might talk some junk, on here. You know what I'm saying, and all of that stuff. And I think TJ just made a comment. I believe you had a commercial with TJ, because I think TJ dealt with your dad as well, um, through some of his stuff that he had going on last season. But yeah, we care, man. We actually care about you guys. We may talk a little junk, when it comes to basketball, but I promise you guys, each and every one of you guys are important uh, to us. When it comes to your life, man, and whatever we can do, to help you out, man. We try our best to do what we need to do. So trust me, man. And as K. Rool would say, that's love. That's what we do.
For sure. And James, yes, we can work on that. Y'all let us know what would be the best way to get information out to you guys in terms of events like this. Um, because when I tell you there's a lot available to you guys, it's just a matter of knowing that you'll come and take advantage of it. Therapy sessions, financial classes, a lot of different things like that. But we have to know that y'all want it first, but it's there and available. So y'all let us know what's the best way to give y'all that information, and we'll definitely do that. And TJ, to your comment, the sisterhood, the SkyWest sisterhood as well.
Definitely.
That is definitely a thing that doesn't get talked about enough. Going all the way back, I'm gonna shout out Bacchus's wife, Kenya. Um, she, I want to say she was one of the first ones with us that kind of started the sisterhood. She got in and just started doing things with SkyWest, and now you just start looking up, and now you see, everyone's girlfriends come in. Like I know some of these people's girlfriends personally. I'm waving across the stands. Like it's become a big family. And then you got Sam, you got Danny. It's like we just got so many people. You got Key. It's like we just got so many people now, and it's like it's not just a brotherhood, but it's a sisterhood as well. I don't even know if No's girlfriend and Key knew each other before SkyWest, but they're like family now. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, it's a real
And tight.
deal. You said what's
And she loud too, boy. Boy, she loud.
that?
She be on.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. But all right, y'all. So we're gonna get back to a little basketball before we close out. Who you got? Who you got? We're gonna get into this next week, and then we're gonna get out of here. So where we starting at, Alicia?
All right. So we got Black Ice versus Savages.
So I'm gonna say this. I gotta stick with what I said with Black Ice. Normally, when they lose a game or two, they come back in, man, and they do their thing, man. So I'm a I'm gonna go with Black Ice on this one, man, and see if my comments hold true next week. Y'all check me if it doesn't.
Y'all comment in the chat too. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Alicia, what about you? Who you got?
Mm, I'm gonna have to go with Black Ice on this one.
Wow. So we got 2 on the couch for Black Ice. Well, I'm gonna go against the grain and I'm gonna go Savages, and I'm gonna tell you why. 2 reasons. 1, PJ is supposedly gonna be back next week. That's gonna be pretty big. 2, I had a conversation with TJ, and TJ is pissed. And I quote, "I love Black Ice, but I'm so sorry, I'm gonna have to take my frustration out on them next week." Close quote. That being said, yeah, I don't. I'm gonna go Savages. I'm gonna go Savages. Love y'all, Black Ice. Y'all know y'all my boys over there, but I'm not gonna let them 3-0 the couch. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go against the grain. All right, where we at next?
All right, so we got Bulldogs versus Blazers.
I'll go first. I'm gonna stick with the dogs on this one.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
got
stick with the
dogs.
dogs. And look, no shade to
man.
no shade to the Blazers, but the dogs is just they rolling,
ruthless.
man.
Man, why y'all do that, man? How y'all gonna choose that fast, man? Like y'all got me on that one. But I listen, I can't go against the Bulldogs right now.
Oh, so
And it's one reason and one reason only. The only reason, and this may motivate the Blazers, but the only reason I will say this is even though the Blazers have they're actually good off the court. Everybody calls them the LA Fitness team. You know what I'm saying? But the Dog Pound, they in this league, they have it together. It looks like the Blazers may still be working on a few things. And like I said, just like when we were talking about the Red Hawks, when you're playing a good team in this league, you don't have time to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You have to really, be set and be ready to go. So that's why I'm saying that, man. No disrespect to the Blazers because I think Blazers are
Nah,
top 10
DJ
team.
said mute.
But right now the
DJ
Bulldogs
said keep it on
they
my
cooking
side.
with
Stay on that side. All right.
that.
All
All
right,
good.
where we at?
All right, we got Wolverines versus Panthers.
Well, y'all know, who I'm picking. If I went against my team, I'll be stupid. That's dumb. So
Yeah,
you guys can pick that.
Hey, I think it's time for the Panthers to get on the board, man. If Sid can come and be locked in, but he's gonna have to be locked in because he's gonna be matched up with Rashad.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to be locked in. But I think it's time for the Panthers to go on and get on the board and get in the win column. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go Panthers.
See, I'm looking like nope.
I'm sorry, the producer had something to say back there. What was that? Oh, just so y'all know, producer aka Sam says Wolves as well. So we got 4 in studio, or 3 in studio for the Wolves and 1 Panther. I believed in you, Panthers. They did not. All right, what's next?
We got Warriors versus Chargers.
Warriors versus Chargers. Warriors versus Chargers. All right, Sky, you go first on this one.
All right, so I'll say this. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys correct me in the chat too. But Darius, did the Warriors beat the Chargers in the season last season?
I think
I
so,
believe
because
they did.
That was
'Cause
Carl's
I
first
remember-
game with the Warriors. Because remember that was the game. That was the game where Shaq
But
talked all that junk on Let's Hoop, and then didn't show up on that Sunday. And then Carl.
so I'll say this. I think the Chargers' memory is long. So I think the Chargers they're looking for some get back. So I got to go with the Chargers on that. That's
All
what I
right,
say.
Alicia.
I might have to do Chargers.
Wow. Nobody believes in the Warriors.
Well, I just want a little more out of them, and I don't think I can confidently choose them right now. But
Oh,
yeah,
are you able to elaborate? Like, what more do you want out of them? Are you able to unpack that like you told me earlier?
we don't have time for all that tonight.
Okay. All right. I'll let you off the-
Now Backus said that the Chargers actually won
Yeah, they
that
did.
game.
Wait, they did? I thought the Warriors won that game.
So I thought they did too. And like I said, I may be wrong, but I thought that was a surprise game last year that the Warriors won. And that's what I
Hey,
thought.
look,
I may be wrong
I'm
though.
trusting Backus' report. That's Shams, that's Woj, that's all of them. So he will know.
Hey, James is asking where is Baker at for Black Ice. Baker had an injury as well. I think he's out. I don't think he's going to be able to play this season. So that's another one, another brotherhood moment. Just keep him in your prayers as well, and speedy recovery for him. So that being said, back to basketball. Oh, that's what it was. I think Backus is right. Warriors beat the Blazers. That was the surprise. So they didn't beat the Chargers. So yeah, I can't do it off of that premise, but I'm still going with the Chargers.
Gotcha.
Yep. Because Chargers they look polished. So I have to go with the Chargers on that.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna keep going against the grain.
Of course.
Y'all are clearly out on these teams that have new people, and just because they're trying to figure it out, y'all feel like they can't win. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors to upset the Chargers. If they can find a way to contain Tate, Mason can stay aggressive, Penn can lock in, Amari get going. Like, they have all the pieces and the weapons to match up with the Chargers. So put it together, Warriors. We all trying to figure it out. They don't believe in us. It's all good. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors on this one.
And if I can say one thing about that game, I think Mason is going to play a huge role in trying to stop Tate from getting to the basket. Because once again, that dude, when he wants to get there, he gets there. So I think if Mason can really kind of help with that, it may be a tight matchup. So
let me ask you this. And I know we're not really supposed to analyze these a whole lot because it's actually late. But let me ask you this. Yes, we can say Mason's going to have to help. But there is a whole Shaq on the other side that Mason is also going to have to contain. So he can't contain Shaq and Tate. So one of the others is going to have to step up.
And that's the issue that I see occurring, because I think Shaq. I think the Chargers are smart enough to play off of what Mason would do. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if he would leak off to help Tate, I think Tate is smart enough, to pass the Shaq. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to, give away game plans or anything like that. But I think they're a smart team. Chargers are a smart team. But I think Warriors are capable, but I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Got it. All right. And what is our last game that we have to go over?
All right. Titans versus Red Hawks.
Titans versus Red Hawks. What y'all got? Let's start with you, Alicia, because you know you put me on put me on a hot seat. Well, it's supposed to be redemption season. What happened?
Well, until I start to see the redemption, we gonna we gonna go with Titans. I'm sorry. Don't fire me though. It's day one.
Oh, sheesh. Oh. All right. Sorry
So
to
it's
see you figure things out after this weekend. Yeah, all right.
so I'm gonna do this like a spades game. You know what I'm saying? You got to play the hot hand, bro. And right now, the Titans got the hot hand. They just got the hot hand. Red Hawks got to show it to me first. You know what I'm saying? They got to show it to me first before I believe in the Red Hawks. Love you, my brother, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Right now, the Titans got the hot hand. You know.
Thank you,
So,
Sean. I appreciate you, my brother. Like I said, they don't believe in none of the teams that's figuring it out and putting it together. So, you know, hey, that's all good. Upsets make sports great. So I'm here for it. Whatever.
hey, it's a couple of people talking about Barlow, by the way. Talking about Barlow is strong enough and all of that stuff. I'm just
Whoa,
reading the comments.
Pause. Hold on. James said CEO don't even believe they winning. Stop it.
Ooh.
I ain't saying you ain't finna talk me out of nothing. Stop it. Continue, Sky.
Ooh. I mean, I see fuel on the fire right now, bro. Oh, Darius Becker said figure it out next week.
Hey, man.
Ooh, man. Hey, yes, in Spades tournament. Y'all don't want to see me in Spades. Somebody talking about a Spades tournament. Hey, we got to do one, but y'all don't want to see me in Spades, bro. I mean, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, these are all Titans. These are all Titans in the comments right now. But hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for
But
it. But
yeah.
anyway, we are gonna call it a night, y'all, because it's late. We've had fun. Yes. Alicia, would you like to do the
Hand claps
honors and
again.
close us on? Wait, what'd you say, Sky?
Hand claps again for Alicia.
Oh yeah, hand claps. Day one in the books. Excellent job. But anyway, Alicia, would you like to close us on out? Take us out. We'll see y'all later, y'all. Alicia, it's on you.
Well, guys, this has been great. I'm so excited to be a part of the team. Thank y'all for all the love. This has been amazing. And